Hi, thanks for joining a new video. I have the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL and will share what I liked and didn't after testing it in case you're thinking of buying it. So, don't buy the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL before watching this video. Let's take a moment to consider its launch price, which in Mexico has been set at 30,999 pesos. This makes it one of the priciest devices available, and from the most expensive devices, we naturally expect absolutely everything. So let's begin by sharing with you what I found most appealing about it. I believe the design is quite attractive and stands out. You can easily recognize it's a Pixel due to the horizontal layout of the camera island and the distinctive Google G. In my opinion, it's truly an iconic design. Although the trend now seems to be reverting to this horizontal camera setup, we'll have to wait and see how it performs in the market. The truth is that, yes, it's quite impressive. The camera has a strong zoom with long range optimized by AI. What I really appreciate about it is that it provides you with both versions. You get the AI optimized version and you also get the unprocessed version. This is important because obviously it depends on how the AI understands the picture you took. Sometimes it might give you a slightly odd feeling, but I like that it offers both versions simultaneously, allowing you to choose the one you feel is best. The truth is, for medium to very long range zoom, you'll have a great experience. You'll also see that the device records up to 8K quality with any of the three rear cameras. Obviously, 8K isn't the quality you'll use daily, but if you want to be creative and adjust your framing in post-production, 8K will be useful. It also includes Android 16 with a promise of updates for 7 years. This means it's a device that will be updated swiftly and will receive excellent support. It won't become outdated over time, which is exactly what you would expect from a flagship device. However, some flagship devices still don't offer such a strong update policy. Additionally, in terms of artificial intelligence, it is a device that is very well equipped and powerful. Pixel has always historically been a very intelligent device, and in this particular case, what I really love is the Add Me feature. This feature allows you to take a picture and then have someone else replace you as the photographer, ensuring that you are also included in the final results. Honestly, it's incredibly cool, and it's a completely unique feature exclusive to the Pixel. You won't find this on any non-Pixel device at the moment, which makes it one of its most appealing and attractive features. Additionally, it includes Pixel Studio and transcription capabilities. While it might not be a comprehensive suite of artificial intelligence features, the functions it does offer work exceptionally well. The battery performance is also impressive even during intensive tasks. During my detailed drain test, it lasted for 5 hours and 34 minutes. Which is an hour longer than the average cell phone that already performs well. Oh, this one goes even further when it comes to these high-demand tasks. Although the processor is not extremely powerful, which is something you can understand. Let's say that this processor can't handle as many tasks as the more powerful ones can in the same amount of time, but at least it doesn't use up as much battery. Another notable feature of this cell phone is its support for magnetic charging using the Qi standard. You can purchase an original Pixel magnetic charger that attaches to the back, or use other certified G chargers that also stick well, even without a case. This is unique because other phones support magnetic charging but require a special case. Here, no case is needed, allowing you to attach both the charger and other accessories. The performance is flagship level for apps. Now here's what I didn't like. To begin with, it does not provide us with an equalizer to adjust the sound settings. While this is a feature available on Samsung and some other brands, this iPhone-style device comes equipped with rather basic software. Additionally, it lacks the LHDC codec, supporting only aptX and LD. This is an important consideration if you're planning to buy a high-resolution wireless headset, as you must ensure that the codec is compatible to fully benefit from it. Zoomed-in pictures can often turn out well, but when there are moving objects in the frame, the results can be inconsistent. I believe that this is an issue that Chinese devices such as the Oppo Find X9 Pro or the Vivo X300 Pro are more capable of addressing effectively. So even though it's quite good at zooming, if there are movements, it doesn't perform as well. In fact, when it comes to night photography, it seems to be somewhat lacking compared to other Chinese rivals I mentioned who are complete specialists in photography. Even portrait photography seems to have fallen a bit short in my opinion. So, if you're looking for a device that is absolutely brutal in photography, I believe the Pixel is no longer at that level anymore. Hi, In fact, it also lacks a dual recording mode, which means you can't record video with both the rear and front camera simultaneously. This is a feature that even the iPhone includes, and that says quite a bit. It offers a feature called Video Boost, which uploads your videos to the cloud for enhancement and then you download them again. However, if I'm honest, I'm not a big fan because the resolution is only Full HD. I don't see how it truly enhances the quality. In certain situations, such as reducing noise at night, it might improve a bit, but honestly, it's not a particularly useful feature, and it will just end up using up your internet connection unnecessarily. And as I mentioned, the iPhone-style software is quite basic. It doesn't permit us to open applications in a floating window, lacks app lock, child mode, the ability to duplicate applications, and various other features that are available on other Android devices. It's possible that these functions might be included in future updates. The advantage here is that it will receive updates for many years. Therefore, you can hold on to the hope that in a few years, you'll be able to get a new one. Any of these options might eventually make it to the Pixel, but it's quite limited in this aspect. Interestingly, while the battery performed well in high-demand tests, during my test playing YouTube videos, it only lasted for about 16 hours and 48 minutes. Then, in simpler tasks, the battery doesn't last as long as it should. Plus, the charger isn't included in the box, so you'll need to consider purchasing that as well, which will be an extra expense. This is definitely something we aren't pleased with. It lacks a data lock mode, which the iPhone has, it doesn't. You will have the ability to choose which applications can access the internet using your mobile data and which ones can only connect when using Wi-Fi. I believe that's a fundamental feature to prevent those unpleasant surprises like when you were watching YouTube videos and suddenly realized you weren't connected to the Wi-Fi network. Additionally, its in-projection feature is limited to Chromecast. So if you don't own a screen that's compatible with Chromecast or a physical Chromecast device, you'll have trouble projecting the screen, and I don't like that. And finally, when it comes to gaming, it's truly a complete disaster. The processor is just terrible for graphic-intensive tasks such as games. Honestly, it doesn't support high-quality visuals or very good visual effects. Even when it does, it performs very poorly, being unstable and showing inconsistencies. So for playing games, it's a total disaster. I believe that for a device this expensive, much more attention should be given to these kinds of details. However, if you have already purchased it, please share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you like the most and what you like the least about it. This is because other users who might be interested in buying this device can read your opinion and use it to help make their decision. Also, just a reminder, I have the full video review available where you can see all the details about this device if you want to know more about it in depth. So, for now, we've come to the conclusion of this video. If you enjoyed watching it, you know you can share it.